Good day, this is the Think Director Phil, and I want to talk for just a few minutes about something exciting that's happening called Bridges Out of Poverty. And why would we be interested in Bridges Out of Poverty? Bridges Out of Poverty takes community resources, individual resources, institutional resources, and puts it all together so that people can move out of poverty. Many times we have what I call PMOs, poverty maintenance organizations. And what we want is positive change organizations and positive change individuals. That happens. Coming out of poverty is not a matter of just finances. Now, I want you to take your hand for a minute and think about that. If you have your flyer, great. If not, just look at it here. First, we need physical resources to come out of poverty. I need a house, I need a car, I need things stable so I can do it. And I need spiritual resources. I'm not going to get out of poverty. We find that people who are connected in spiritual have hope, and that hope keeps them in motion. We need emotional resources. If our emotions get the better of us, we're never going to come out of poverty. We need mental resources, the ability to think and understand in the right languages, to have the right job, education, whatever that is. We need financial resources. Yes, poverty is about finances. It's about all these other things too. And we need human capital. We need to be able to bridge with people who can help us understand things. And we need to have the human capital around us that holds us together. The wrist down here is what we call hidden rules. We're going to talk a little bit more about that in a minute, but there are hidden rules inside of poverty culture, inside of middle class culture, and inside of wealth culture, and inside of any job or organization. If we don't understand those hidden rules, we can't get out. In addition to this, we need roles of people who will come alongside and be our role model, right? And we need support. We need people who are encouragers and organizations that are encouragers. And people who've come out of poverty have told us three things that they think are really important. What do you think those are? Integrity and trust. Integrity and trust. Motivation and persistence. Wow. And formal register. Now, formal register is a way of speaking. Casual register is how many people who are struggling and stuck in poverty and generational poverty have their conversations. You need formal register, which happens in the middle class and in the wealthy class, to make that move out of poverty. So let's continue to have this conversation. Why is Bridges Out of Poverty and the whole concept important, and why do I want you to come and be a part of one of our training days? Because it's about building relationships of mutual respect. Many times we think in our middle class mindset or our wealthy mindset that we're going to do something to somebody and that's going to help them come out of poverty. In reality, we need to work together. People who are in poverty, who are struggling, come alongside people who are in middle class, people who are in wealth, and all of us come together with mutual respect, learning from each other. That's what breaks the poverty cycle. Where does it get broken? Over and over, we think, well, the individual just needs to get up and get a better job, get an education, stop doing things, get out of this drug addiction. That's true. It also takes institutions, it takes organizations, it takes churches and businesses and nonprofits and government education to come alongside those individual decisions that people make. And then it takes policy at a higher level that creates an environment for the community. So we need individuals, we need institutions, and we need the whole community policy working together to raise people out of poverty and stay out of poverty, to get ahead in a just getting by world. Don't just get by, but get ahead. And lastly, I want you to think of just a few items. Inside of this mental model of poverty and mental model of middle class and mental model of wealthy class, we really think and look at items in life differently. And on our little item here, we're going to talk about a few possessions. You know, when you're stuck in that generational poverty, possession is people. In the middle class, a possession is a thing. In the wealthy, a possession is an asset. It's something or somebody that's going to help you make money. Talk about time. When I'm stuck in poverty, I've got so much going on, I'm just in the moment. What we call tyranny of the moment. I got to take care of this. In the middle class, time is something we look forward and plan ahead in. In wealthy class, time is something that's generational. I have generations of wealth. Even if it's new wealth, we begin to think in the wealthy class is generational. So even time is a different conversation if it's a different mindset. Food. If I'm struggling in poverty, and I've maybe been that way for a while, or even if it's a situational poverty, I need quantities of food. In the middle class, it's about the quality of food. In wealth, it's about the presentation of food. So can you see that in all these different areas, there's really hidden rules of class? You know, maybe there's a hidden rule that you don't know about visiting a person's house. Do I go to the living room? Do I go to the kitchen? Do I take my shoes off? How do I enter this house? Every house has its own hidden rules. And moving from poverty to the middle class has hidden rules. And we want to help people understand the hidden rules and adapt. That takes role models. That takes support. That takes physical resources, spiritual resources, mental, emotional, financial, community, support, role models. It takes integrity and trust. It takes motivation and persistence. And it takes formal register. I'm inviting you to be a part of one of these days of learning about how all this works together and how you can be a part to facilitate people taking bridges out of poverty.